Not really pink from where I'm looking, but he's still beautiful. Here, let's see if we can make it pinker. Where is it? Here we go. Come on. Pink? Nope, not enough light. It turns all different other colors. So, all this extra energy as we raise up to a comprehension level of, let's see if we can activate my thinking here. Okay, so I'm gonna let you guys in this is the kind of stuff I think about when I sit and stare at the moon, so I'll just let you guys listen in on it. Between me and the voices trying to explain to me what's going on. Okay, so as I look at the dimensions, first dimension was mineral, just being, being the rock. Second dimension was movement. I guess density sometimes gets used as well, which is probably better. Dimension usually is conceiving or perception of a box, a containment of some kind of a labeled space. So anyway, density. Second was movement towards light, towards food, of its own accord, per se. Third would be animal, full beingness, all the way up. Fourth would be dreaming, light, love, light. It's the dimension of, it's basically the dimension everybody hangs out in. They used to call it time, back when everybody was, I'm off staring somewhere else, my bad. Missed up the moon. Okay, so anyway, where was I? I'm getting off on it. Let's see. So, best I've been able to figure out, the manifestation of first density at its supreme, most epic, would be that of a crystal. So we have giant rose quartz here. See the rainbow? Ooh. It's beautiful pink. Okay, so first density in mastership. Second density would be movement. Of that, it's so plants and other organisms, and I would say a tree is probably the epic of representation of that density. It doesn't quite go into third because it can't pick itself up and move around yet. Once trees start walking around and talking and stuff like that, it changes the whole definition of things. But anyway, so piece of wood, cedar, in the shape of love, heart, as an E. So we have the trees as the epic of second. Third, when we get into animals, I'm not going to put humans as that third, because I think we're the whole rainbow, the whole multi-dimensional experience. So I'm going to say the top of the tier of third would be any animal who's given up its freedom as a roaming in the wild free spirit to go and be a pet for someone else. Consciousness eventually shows us that those pets, what used to be just wild animals, eventually our conception of teaching them how to be, we began passing on our wisdom, our consciousness through our kids. So we teach the pets how to domesticate. Pets hold space for us to multi-dimensionally partner up and learn, teach, learn, teach. That whole Thothian conceptualization, understanding of reality. So, fourth is love. Love, light, love. And we've spent eternity on a calendar clock forever, over and over, dealing with it under conditions, right? So unconditionally, you take all expectations off of it, and boom, it just arises of its own accord, at its own frequency, of its own power and self-empowerment. And it always, when given, it always returns from that same high frequency. So this is how the karma of give unto others, or do unto others, give unto others as you would have given unto you, would be a really good twist to make that previous one more understandable. So fifth would be us realizing here is an illusion of our own collective grouping, our own collective consciousness of the whole planet. So that's all the crystals who are geniuses of first dimension, all the trees and plants who are geniuses of second dimension, all the animals who are successfully thriving as the geniuses of the third dimension. We'll go back to the imagination part here. All the elements would be the zero dimension, for none of them individually empower, but collectively combined they start to resonate in harmony. And it's the resonation, it's the vibrational space between the ripples that's causing the ripples. If you understand that you threw the stone in the pond. So anyway, I always thought our chakras were a hint to everything. They seem to be color-coded, and they seem to match the emotions, they seem to match other stuff. Well, there's 7 of them. And if we balance all 7 and we open them all wide up, no resistance, no governor on the throttle, per se, which is tough to do, because in order to get them all to open up at full, the heart one has to be at unconditional love. So that's your 4th density. If you match your other first 3 chakras up, they'll match the same crystals and trees and animals, wisdom and genius and knowledge. It's in your DNA. So 4th is love, light, love. And 5th is when you realize all 5 perceptions, all 5 senses, all 5 elements, all in unity together, collectively, they make more than the sum of the parts. And so you end up with the exact same dream that we used to think we saw in 3D, only the players have changed, the character storylines have changed, everybody's frequency has changed, because everybody is now living with all 5 chakras. So at least to that 5th degree, 5th dimensional level. I think that's what 5G is representing. Fifth state of Gaia. Woohoo! So it's a higher frequency of living when everybody's consciously aware that we are all made of love. That doesn't mean we can't return to the interactions of love between each other, but there's this threshold where collectively we all come to comprehend empowerment of others is closer to the frequency of love than to disempower others. And the world comes to a crashing halt really quickly to people when they, from my experience, wow, this is getting, when they allow expectations or conditions on love to dictate who they should be. And we are all one in consciousness. We get that as a beingness, but each little compartmentalized soon realizes it's all one brain. All the data that's ever been put on the internet is all one brain. Each one of us has that connection, whether we're using the phone or not. I mean, you can do it naturally. Just go sit next to a tree, let the tree be your iPhone 8G tower. It's a beautiful thing. It's calm, it's peaceful, but there's this buzz right in the middle. It's right in that frequency between 3G and 5G that freaks everybody out because they can't figure out how they can get one over on the system when the system already knows everything. So everybody just kind of quits trying to hide in the dark, because at some point even evil gets it. They can't go past 666. They can't go to a higher frequency than that. It ceases to exist. But unconditional love, you can go all the way up past 10G. That's 10 densities of Gaia dimension. Ooh, that's a little dense. But, you know, I'm a hard wood to crack. I thought I was me once. And then I woke up and realized I was a tree. Luckily, I think the tree thought it was me. So we settled on a bargain of unity. Though the tree would prefer I say unitree. But we don't want to make a church out of this, do we? So, lovely pink supermoon to humanity from this nut, Tree Hugger Dave.